Hey there, everybody. I'm going to start this video off here with this book from 1844, 1846. It's called Travels in Tartary, Tibet, and China during the years 1844 to 1846 by Evariste Regis Hook and William Hazlitt. All right, so we're going to get into it a little bit here just to read a paragraph out and then we're going to get into something. All right. And here's a page from the book, right? So it says, "Did you see the enemy? No, they did not dare to appear. The Kitat told us everywhere that we were marching upon certain and unavailing death. What can you do, asked they, against sea monsters? They live in the water like fish. When you least expect them, they appear on the surface and hurl their fire bombs at you, while the instant your bow is bent to shoot them, they do shoot them down, they dive like frogs. Then they essayed to frighten us, but we soldiers of the eight banners know not fear. Before our departure, the great lamas had opened the book of celestial secrets, and had thence learned that the matter would end well for us. The emperor had attached to each Chuanda a lama learned in medicine and skilled in all the sacred auguries, who was to cure all the soldiers under him of the disease of the climate and to protect us from the magic of the sea monsters. All right, now 1844, 1846, there's obviously a war going on, and these guys are talking about something that comes up out of the sea, blasts you with balls of fire or rockets, and then dives back down again. What could that be? Now, we got this thing sitting at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. They call it the Baltic Sea Anomaly. It resembles Han Solo's Millennial Falcon in Star Wars. But let's have a look and see if we get a couple of more clips of it. A little bit of a close-up on it there. And this here is a sort of a cleaned up version of it, okay? Now, we're not looking at some naturally occurring phenomenon at the bottom of the ocean. We're looking at a structure of kinds, and most likely a structured craft. Now, as it crashed, it left a 1.3 kilometer scrape along the bottom of the ocean floor. So, what are we looking at? A spaceship or a submarine? This is it here again from another angle. And apparently you can't get close to this thing. Once you get within 200 meters of it, all the radio equipment, sonar equipment, radar equipment, lights, anything battery operated or electronic suddenly stops functioning once you pass 200 meters close to this thing. And then when you pull back, things start to work again. So they can't get near it, but they're on the surface all the time, 24/7, and they're on this thing, but they can't get near it. Have a look at that. That's rather creepy looking. Now that's just a drawing, and those divers are liars because they're shining lights on it. You can't get within 200 yards of it. It just closes you down. Now this young lady here, her name is Melina Hall, and she is the world's most beautiful, most glamorous remote viewer you're ever going to come across. Now, I'm going to put this video in three parts, part 1, 2, and 3, because there are 3 remote viewers on this. And so I'm just going to show you the first remote viewer in this part because I don't want to make the video too long. Where they got her from, I don't know. But if there is an island somewhere that breeds these remote viewers, I'm moving there.
Today I'll be exploring target 71685534. From below, I feel wetness, a lot of water. No.
These ladies are given a document
And I'm also seeing the structure above the water.
relating to this incident, and they're given serial number of the document.
I'm seeing a lot of blue, greenish, and brown colors. Structure here, which is man-made. Looks pretty old. Seems to be floating, so it's not a land structure. Feels like a water structure. And it seems to be metallic. It's also made with natural materials as well, but mostly metallic and grayish color. I hear a lot of loud noises, like a loud horn noises. Very strong, very, like, have a deep ring to it. Coming from the structure, like a loud horn sounds. I'm also hearing bell noises as well. This structure is definitely a boat. Now that I have my view of the structure is a large, gray metallic, old style boat. Seems to be above water. Water seems very deep, like an ocean. So I'm getting this big ship on top of the ocean. The temperature outside, I'm feeling a bit cold. Then again, moderate. It's like a lot of wind pushing through, but it's pretty cool outside. Let's see where this boat is going to, or what is it doing here in the middle of this ocean, large body of water here. Here I see a structure and water. Feels old and metallic, and it looks old. Feels man-made. Seeing a lot of red and blue colors. Has a very odd round shape. This structure has a shiny point on top. It has a round, odd shape. Looks like a clock almost. Has a blue-red tint to it, and also gray. Around the structure, I see a lot of blue on each side. The structure seems like it's appeared to be underwater. The structure is definitely underwater. So I have this structure that is deep underwater. Seems to be old. From the looks of it, seems very damaged and dense in the area, like on the side. Let's look inside of the structure. Inside of the structure is very spacious, have a lot of seats. Looks very fancy, like a living room. Seems to still have its operation and controls on the side and the front, where I believe the main part to control the structure. And also outside of the structure outside the structure. Seems like it can't really function underwater, but it can power up too. Structure can possibly power on underwater. Seems like a structure only made for above, not necessarily underwater. But it looks like it's stuck underwater. But everything inside doesn't seem damaged as bad. So now that I'm deep underwater, I'm going to move up to see where am I. So here I am below, underwater, and here's my surface on top.
My vision improved after I threw away all my eggs. Here's why.
If you are struggling with vision loss and you've also been prescribed glasses, you've got to see this right away. A Nobel Prize-winning discovery from Dr. Greg Semenza has helped open up a...
Fucking ads. My God. And I was pushing the wrong button.
So here I am. Now I move all the way up. For my view, I see land-water interface in the distance. And I'm also seeing a structure above the water. A very large structure. This is a man-made surface boat. This structure looks like a man-made modern ship. It has subjects on the ship. The structure is wide, gray, silver, brown, metallic. The subjects on the boat wearing a casual uniform clothes. The uniform isn't like it seems like a fisherman work uniform, not necessarily like too nice and fitted. It's mostly something to get dirty in. It seems like normal fishermen, but yet workers. They seem to be above just selling, possibly looking for things. So now that I know it cannot operate underwater, it can control itself. It seems like it came from a different environment. The structure seems like it's been underwater for quite a long time. The way it looks, it doesn't seem like a long time because it's so unique and different. It has that damaged areas on the structure, like it's been hit, which it fell or dived in the water. And the object seems to be from a different time zone, and the outside looks very peculiar and unique, and the inside definitely look vintage and very old school, just by the way the seats are and the cushions. Like, it just looked very, very fancy and just different, not too modern, just from a different time zone, honestly. So I'm going to take another look of the structure, a better look at the inside. Again, it has this irregular curve shape. The middle of the structure has this circle. believe it's like the floor of the structure. Look like a sewer top or somewhat. The walls of the structure has like a light tint. There are seats around in circular motion, like it's have seats like around the center of the structure. There's a lot of handlebars around each corner of the structure. There's a lot of buttons and controls that operates this structure. I'm feeling a lot of cold and push and just a tilt, like the object just tilted in the water, like the object was like covered in ice or frozen to death. This is what I'm seeing, feeling. The object just like fell in the water, just went down, damaged by the coldness and the ice from wherever it landed. It's kind of weird, but I got this Arctic type of climate, and the structure just stayed down below in freezing cold, deep water. Didn't have the strength or power to, escape through that. But where this object came from before all this, wow, so this target seems to have been a man-made structure made in a dry area. Feels like an American object, man-made, like a man-made spaceship from like the West region in America. In a dry, hot land, this structure was built a while back. So man-made spaceship. Wow. Okay, so this object, man-made spaceship carried subjects above the sky as high as possible. I wouldn't say too high. It doesn't seem like it went out of space, but I get the feel that it went above, soaring everywhere, fast as heck. Structure crashes in a cold environment. Looks like Alaska or Antarctica, just a very cold, really cold environment. The structure just seems to been damaged there, stuck in ice, covered in ice, just frozen to death, and fell in water. Seemed like it emerged in the water and just stayed there. And haven't been discovered in years, but subjects in that structure aren't there anymore. And that was the last of that structure until it was found in a very cool, moderate temperature water where it wasn't too cold. And that's all I have for this target, 71685534.
So, what do you make of that? Now, like I said, this is part 1. I have 2 more beautiful remote viewers going to be at a part 2 and a part 3. And what they're given is they're given a document relating to this incident, this anomaly. And they're only given a serial number of the document. And from that serial number, in they go and they remote view. So I don't know what we're looking at. Whether we're looking at one of these underwater craft that come up and shoot balls of fire at you, or whether I'm looking at a spaceship made in the deserts of the western part of the United States of America. Who knows? You might never find out. It's doubtful whether they'll ever pull this thing off the ocean floor. But anyway, make of it what you will. I'll be back with part 2 and part 3.